All is well, Shane. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Wish we wouldn't have night.
So good, sir. How are you? Good. Good to see you. Yeah. Thank you, Patrick. Oh, no, Mister. Please, Patrick. No, Mister. And Shane, be careful. There's a spider web right over you.
They pop up when you don't need them.
Yes. We'll wait for Aaron. No rush. No rush.
Yeah, to run back. Yes.
Oh, good, good, good. No worries. And Mr. Scott's walking up, so we're good. So good. How are you, man? Good. Mic check. Mic check. Good.
Good to go.
Good to go? All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Officer Truman Fitzgerald with the Birmingham Police Department's Public Information Division. And right now, our patrol officers and detectives have launched a homicide investigation after 3 people were shot in East Birmingham. At around 7:40 p.m., East Precinct officers received a call of a shot spotter alert in the 8200 block of First Avenue North. Officers arrived on the scene, and here's what they found. In the 8300 block of First Avenue North near the Shell gas station, there were 2 vehicles that had been involved in an accident. Going westbound into the 8200 block of First Avenue North, officers located 2 wrecked vehicles on the roadway near Eastlake Park. And upon further investigation, our officers observed a 3rd vehicle that went through the fence at Eastlake Park and was about 20 feet from the fence line near some trees. Our officers approached the vehicle that was in Eastlake Park near the trees, and that is when they discovered 3 gunshot victims. They located an adult female gunshot victim, they located an adult male gunshot victim, and they located an additional adult male gunshot victim. One of those adult male gunshot victims, he was deceased. The other 2 gunshot victims, the adult female and the male, Birmingham Fire and Rescue personnel transported them to UAB Hospital with life-threatening injuries. The preliminary investigation has revealed the following. We believe that a shootout took place between parties that were in the 3 wrecked vehicles that our officers found in the 8200 block of First Avenue North. Again, we think there was a shootout between 3 parties in those 3 wrecked vehicles that were near Eastlake Park. Our officers have observed numerous shell casings in the roadway. We've observed numerous firearms either near the vehicles, inside the vehicles. Everything that we've observed tonight has led us to believe that every party who was involved in the shootout was actively shooting at one another. In the 2 cars that were in the 8300 block of First Avenue North, everything that we've gathered, one of the drivers may have been fleeing the gunfire. We have no one in custody. Just a heads up to our community members, if you live in the South or North Eastlake communities, the 8000 block of First Avenue North all the way to about the 8400 block of First Avenue North is going to be blocked off for possibly hours. This also affects I-59 that runs through the First Avenue North exit near Eastlake. That's completely blocked off just to help from traffic going on to First Avenue North. Again, multiple shell casings in the roadway, shootout between 3 parties in at least 3 different vehicles, and we have 1 deceased on the scene and 2 others who are at UAB Hospital with life-threatening injuries.
So
Gentlemen?
Was the shootout between the 3 separate parties, do we think at this point that it was a reaction to the initial accident? Or is that something you guys can know at this time?
The accident in the 8300 block of First Avenue North was actually a reaction from someone fleeing the shootout. Those 3 cars in the 8200 block of First Avenue North, everything that we've observed either inside the vehicle or near the vehicle lead us to believe that at least 1 person who was inside those vehicles had something to do with this shootout.
Sorry,
no, go ahead.
You said at this time you don't have anyone in custody. Are you actively searching for someone else that might be involved with this, or are you under the belief that these 3 individuals are the only ones involved in the shooting?
We are actively searching for suspects. Anyone with information, please, you can come forward anonymously through Crime Stoppers and receive a cash reward. But we have to point out that we believe these individuals were involved, of course, in the shootout, because that's the same narrative that we've seen repeat itself these past 2 weeks. Our community members involving themselves in something they shouldn't have, and we're losing too many of our sisters and brothers due to criminal activities, whether it be someone pulling a gun in a simple argument or 3 different parties choosing to have a shootout in one of the busiest intersections in Birmingham.
And speak a little more to that.
1 second. We'll let Will Recker leave.
Like you said, we were talking a little bit before about this is a major thoroughfare for this part of the city. Talk to me a little bit about what that means, especially for the danger of those who are just around in the area, because there are so many people who pass through here in this kind of situation.
To paint the picture of where this shootout took place, if you were right in front of the entrance on First Avenue North into Eastlake Park, just picture that thoroughfare. Picture how many cars travel on First Avenue North daily. And here you have a beautiful Saturday where it was a prime time in the evening. People are traveling on First Avenue North and individuals choose to have a shootout. And that's why it's so important that we continue as a community to get these individuals off the street, which I'm proud our detectives are doing on a weekly basis.
And around what time did you get the call?
ShotSpotter activated around 7:40 p.m. and about upwards to 50 shots were registered on ShotSpotter, which that number could possibly increase when our officers start collecting shell cases.
You had mentioned that one of the drivers you believe was fleeing the gunfire. Can you elaborate on how you guys came to that conclusion or why you think that?
Sure. From everything that we gathered just in the initial interview on the scene, we didn't see any signs of the person having firearms or being involved in a shootout, and they were just straightforward. Hey, I heard the shots, I fled, and was involved in an accident.
So those were two separate accidents that occurred then?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Two separate accidents.
I got one from Aaron.
Sure.
I was going to see if you could ask through speakerphone or I'll just relay it.
Sure.
Hey, Aaron, can you hear me? Yeah. All right, go ahead.
And what I'll do is when he asks her, I'll repeat it. So.
All right, go ahead, Aaron.
Can you clarify the 3 shooting victims, were they inside the car close to the tree line at East Lake Park?
Got it. Appreciate it, Aaron. So what Mr. Aaron with NBC asked was the 3 victims that our officers located. He wanted to know where were they in relation to the vehicle. What we can point out is that the deceased victim, he was located inside the vehicle. The other 2 had managed to make it outside the vehicle when our officers contacted them. And again, let us point out, Birmingham Fire and Rescue personnel transported them to UAB Hospital. They both have life-threatening injuries. Yes, sir.
Do you have any reason to believe these victims have any relation to each other?
Unknown, we would just be speculating. However, what we can point out is our officers have observed a ton of guns on this scene. And with everything that we've observed, it just leads us to believe that here we have another shooting incident where victims possibly were active participants in the shootout. And we're losing too many of our sisters and brothers due to these violent activities. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Anything we need to clear up? This is a major scene, so we can answer as many questions as we need to.
Any information on the ages possibly? Is that just ages of the victims?
Young adults. Young adults.
The 3 victims, were they in separate cars, all of them? Were any of them in the same car, the same vehicles?
We believe the 3 victims were in the same vehicle.
All 3 of them were
All
in the same?
3 of them. We believe we have nothing that will point to them not being in the same vehicle.
So the 3 victims, do you believe that they shot each other or that they were shot at by another vehicle or another car?
We believe at least one of the people in the vehicle were active participants in the shootout.
But just to clarify, there is other people who were shooting that you're still actively searching for. This was not just contained to the 3 that were shot.
Yes, sir. There's more suspects out there on the loose that our officers are actively looking for. So just imagine that 3 vehicles with 3 separate parties shooting at one another in the 8200 block of First Avenue North near East Lake Park. And so when we put the message out there that we need you as a community to get these individuals off the street, this is what we try to prevent. Actions like this happening tonight where you have 3 different parties and 3 different vehicles shooting at one another. So Birmingham, continue sending those tips, help us out, and the community is doing a great job. Because like I said, our homicide detectives are making arrests daily and weekly with these violent offenders. Thank y'all so much, gentlemen.
Right. I got one more from Aaron.
Sure. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Aaron, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Aaron. I'll answer. I'll call him. that any of the 3 gunshot victims' vehicles, and they weren't. We believe that the 3 gunshot victims who our officers contacted were all in the same vehicle.
So is it safe to assume that the 3 vehicles, those drivers and whoever else was in them, they got off on foot then?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The 2 separate vehicles that were not in East Lake Park, their occupants are not in custody, and our officers are actively looking for them.
Okay. And then if you all know, the 2 cars that were involved in the accident, I know you said one of them was trying to get away from the gunfire. Obviously can't tell if they were participating in the gunfire or if they were actively firing shots. That second vehicle, did the person stick around?
They did. The accident that happened in the 8300 block of First Avenue North were just innocent participants, innocent drivers. They were not participants in the shootout.
Okay. So the car fleeing the scene, I guess one of those cars wasn't fleeing the scene from the shooting, right?
Yes, sir. One of the cars that caused the accident in the 8300 block of First Avenue North was simply fleeing gunfire.
Okay. Okay. And they caused the accident. Then we believe that they weren't firing shots, correct?
Yes, sir. We do not believe they were firing shots. We believe they were just fleeing the scene.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That is what I need to know.
Man, you got it, brother. You need anything else, Aaron, just call me.
Okay, I probably will because it was a little hard to hear, but I got
Yeah,
you.
just call me, bud.
All right.
All right, sir.
Thank you for
All right,
sharing.
all right. There we go. And this is Shane.